John Gibbons joins us on Baseball Central. How you doing, Gibby?
Good morning, guys.
So we got to ask you right out of the gate, these moves, Steve Tolleson, Anthony Gose coming up, Jonathan Diaz, Moises Sierra sent down. Can you walk us through the thinking on that?
Well, with Sierra, he was really struggling. And to be fair to him, he wasn't getting steady at bats, and at this stage of his career, still a young guy. I think the way he's going to be productive is get steady at bats. But with our outfield here, that's just not going to happen. And so he was struggling at the time. And our thinking here is, with Melky going down last night, we don't think it's anything long term. Maybe just a day, maybe a couple days at the most. Get Gose up here, and we can play him in left field and Tolleson, give him some at bats, against some lefties, and then with Diaz going down, we weren't getting much offense production out of him. Very good defense, and Tolleson kind of fit that role too. With the platoon a little bit at second base, with Getz right now. So there's we were back and forth on some different things, but we're just trying to beef up our offense a little bit. And these guys were signed to do these jobs, and so it would be good to get a look at Tolleson. He's very versatile. When we go to National League Parks here this weekend, he's a very valuable double switch type guy. You can really put him almost anywhere, and then so we'll see how it all plays out. But Melky, we don't think is going to be long term, but till we get him back out there, we won't know that for sure.
What are the reports on Gose, by the way? You look at his numbers in AAA, and they certainly don't scream call up. But what are the reports on him?
Well, he's playing better, and everybody knows that. The talent's in there. It's just how is he going to perform during the game? And he came up for that one game against Minnesota, the snow out game, a couple weeks ago. Did a nice job for us, and we know him. We're familiar with him. We know what he's all about, and he's going to go out there and play great defense for you, and we'll take what offense we can get. And you add both these guys, it also adds a little more speed to the team, something that we don't have a whole lot of. Getz also does that, coming up, so that gives us a little different look too.
Hey, Gibby, what's up? It's Bark. How's it going, man?
Bark.
Hey, speaking of struggle, let's stay around that just a little bit. I know Colby Rasmus is a pretty good hitter, and lately he's been struggling a little bit towards the bottom of the lineup with Cabrera going out. Is there any chance that you may think of moving him in the 2 spot just to maybe get him some more fastballs to hit?
Well, Bark, we did that earlier in the year. When Reyes was down, we were tinkering with some things, and we're not sure really what we're going to do tonight. But it's a valid point.
Mm-hmm.
Colby's he's just a streaky hitter. His whole career he's been that way. When he catches fire, he can carry you for a few days and weeks or whatever. And but he can also cool off and go the other way. So we've seen signs of it too, where he's come out and looks good. But he's got a high maintenance swing.
Mm-hmm.
But when he gets it going, he's in pretty good shape. So we're not sure yet what we're going to do tonight. But we need him if we're going to be any good. That's for sure.
Sure.
John, what is the, and again, I know you probably have to wait till you get to the ballpark, but what would Brett Lawrie's status be tonight?
Well, JB, we think he's going to be good today.
All right.
Yesterday he came in there and it was barking it pretty good. And, he's just getting his treatment. And the way we looked at it, with Jansen being down with the oblique problem, and then, of course, Lindy out with the back right now. We really couldn't afford another guy going down for anything long term. So we figured we'd give him a day off. And hopefully tonight, we're anticipating he should be good to go tonight, but we won't know that for sure until we get there.
John Gibbons joining Kevin Barker and Jeff Blair in Baseball Central. You had to like what you saw to Drew Hutchison last night, although Kevin and I were wondering if you could walk us through that at-bat a bit with Escobar. He's a guy you know well. Obviously, you were the bench coach of the Royals. And we don't want to second-guess catchers. Mm-hmm. But I think there's some people are wondering about the pitch selection in that particular at bat. Can you walk us through that a bit?
Well, he was getting late in the game, and it was a great outing for Hutch. You look back over this early in the season, but he's been good just about every time he's going out there. He gives you a chance to win, a great competitor and all that, and that's where he got burned. I think he tried to sneak the fastball up, elevated on him, and I think. A lot of people were thinking, well, you go to the breaking ball there, you're looking for a strikeout. where you don't want contact. And I understand what their thinking was, and what happens when you get burned with it. That's when, you open yourself up to other things. And, right at that point, you got to remember, Escobar is a very aggressive hitter. I mean, he's up there swinging, and it was really just too good a pitch to give him something to hit, at that point. But you live and learn from those things. But one thing he did, I mean, the game was there for the taking. We left a ton of guys on base. The one thing the Royals can do, they can throw some pretty good pitching at you. And they got some big time arms, probably as good as any, maybe the top, overall pitching staff in baseball in reality. So, you can't afford to give up too many because they're not going to give up too many.
Now, Gibby, I like to talk about hitting, and I've been really singing the praises of Juan Francisco. Can you give us just a little bit on how big of a boost he's been for your offense just by power-wise?
Yeah, I tell you, Bark, he's been great. We didn't know what to expect. We knew the kid had, some power. All the reports you get on him, and he hit some home runs last year. But he really, at this point, hadn't found a home, And we're hoping it's like Eddie. Eddie came over here, was just kind of a late bloomer, and he got an opportunity here and really took off. I'm talking about Encarnacion. So, but I tell you what, he's got as much power as anybody. And you know what? He'll give you a good at bat. You see some things at him. He's not just. You don't really think he's just a slugger. He's got a pretty good idea how to hit. He's got a few big hits with 2 strikes on him this year. He's got an idea how to use the middle of the field. He's not just up there just yanking everything. He'll pick his spots and he'll try to turn it loose. But he battles you pretty good when he gets down in the count. So when Lindy comes back, I mean we got a log jam here, but he's a guy we think we need to keep somehow and to make this thing work and make us that much stronger. That's for sure.
Yes, sure.
It's John Gibbons joining Kevin Barker and Jeff Blair on Baseball Central. The Jays and Royals will play the final game of their 3-game series tonight at Kauffman Stadium. You can catch the game on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and on Sportsnet. John, what is the updated status on Casey Jansen? Is Casey going to throw in the bullpen tomorrow, and then you're going to make a decision? Or
he's thrown a couple in the last week, and he's going to throw again tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. And all indications are he's moving in the right direction. Then we'll probably send him out on a rehab and see where that goes. So, it's been a long time coming. He's been out a while. He's been out over a month now. So you got to figure he's getting pretty close, and that's the reports we're getting. So how many outings you'll have to make on a rehab outage down the minor leagues, we're not sure yet. But if you think about it, he basically missed all of spring training to begin with, and then the oblique problem showed up, and of course he went out on a rehab, and he had there was a little setback, so he's a month removed from spring training and not even much of a spring training then. So we got to make sure he's good and ready. He can't just I don't anticipate a 2 or 3 outing rehab stint for him to be ready. So it might take a little bit longer than that.
Mm-hmm. Now, Gibby, can we expect to see Dustin make his next start in Pittsburgh?
Yeah. I tell you what, he's really good the other night. It was good to see, and who he was talking after his last start where he struggled about the pump he wears for his diabetes.
Sure.
Maybe that's it because he looked different. He struggled a little bit. In that first inning, going out there, first couple innings. And then all of a sudden, he kicked it in pretty good. It's like he got a second wind or he gained some confidence, whatever he was. Really had a good fastball working, so you'll see him back out there. That's a big step for him, and it cleared up some questions anyway.
Mm-hmm. John, he had 2 real quick resolution innings, the 3rd and 4th inning. I think he had 6 pitches in the 3rd inning, 9 in the 4th. What's the key to him to getting those innings? What pitch in particular has to be working, or how does he have to pitch in order to get those quick resolution innings? Because when you're a guy with a history of arm trouble, those are godsends.
Right. Yeah. You're right. That makes all the difference. For any starter. You get some quick innings. That makes makes a big difference in how long you last out there. And what I saw out of Dustin, he had that good fastball. He found he has good life on it, and he really kicked that in the middle of the innings. Even in his middle innings there, he just looked like a different guy. And everything for him is going to revolve off his fastball. That's his bread and butter pitch. He's got a nice little slider. He kind of banded the curveball when he went to the bullpen, and that used to be a good pitch for him as a starter. It's something he's tinkering with, and you might see a little bit more of that. But his slider when it's on, it's a dynamite pitch for him. But he can get a little erratic there too. But so any power guy's got to live and die with that fastball. And I said you saw more jump on that thing the other night than we had seen, and that caught our attention. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Going for some barbecue today? Kansas City, it's got to be done.
Good barbecue, you're right around here. Yeah, but hey, JB, I'll eat anything.